So let's get into like the actual text game decoded, like everything that within the past year I just fucking figured out. If you guys have seen, like, who's seen my infields on YouTube? Okay, so just a couple of people. If you guys see my infields, it's like, I almost look like I'm bored. I'm just like, hey, like, what's good, da da da. And the reason why is like, I just like to do the bare minimum to get the most amount of pussy. So it's like, what can I do to be as effective as possible, as efficient as possible, and do as little work as possible? And even in my business, everything I try to do that is like, what can I do to find the most effective way to do things? So this is what I figured out to be the most effective for me. Definitely try it out for yourself and see how it works for you. It's worked for me, it's worked for Jason so far, and a couple other people who have gone into this. So a solid interaction will equal a quality number, which means that you have higher chances of actually meeting up with her. Okay. A big thing also is like a lot of guys will get her number in the end of the interaction, and like they've had like 20 minutes of an amazing interaction, and then towards the end they're like, cool, what's your number? And they get it and they're like, all right, bye. And it's like immediately people and humans in general, we remember a peak experience and also the end of an experience. So you could have had all this amazing experience with her within like 15, 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden at the end, that's what she's going to remember. And she's going to remember, this guy got my number and left immediately, which means that if he fucks me, he's also going to leave immediately. So she's going to feel actually used, and this is where a lot of the flakes come. So you need to actually get the number in the middle of the interaction and then continue the interaction afterwards. Another thing is to get her social media handles. And there's a very easy way that you can do this. You don't ask, what's your IG? What's your Snapchat? That's cool, you can do it. It's still super easy to get it like that. But what I actually like to do is I flip out my phone. I go on Instagram. So let's say she's like Swedish. I'll be like, guys, I met a Swedish girl here, da 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 da. And I'll actually tag her in that Instagram post. And then immediately, I'm in her mentions. When you tag someone on your post, it goes into their DMs. And now she actually has more incentive to hit me up. She's like, oh shit, like this awesome interaction I had, and he's on Instagram, and like now he's like in my DMs. And then usually they'll reply back with like something like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. Like, and then just by that, another interaction is started through social media, right? So now you're hitting her up on multiple platforms. Again, social media is super easy to get because it's less pressure. And which girl doesn't want more followers? Like, which girl goes like, you know what? I'm good with having like 10 followers. Like, that's all I want. Most girls are like, fuck, if I can get 2,000, if I could get 6,000, like they want as many followers as possible. So it's more of an incentive for her to actually give her social media handles. And again, she wants validation, right? So if you like get on social media, she gets a new follower. Like, Instagram literally has a department that will focus on how they can make Instagram as addictive to the brain as they humanly can. So when she sees that, like, you got a new follower, she's like, oh my God, dopamine, and it feels like really good. So all girls like really like it. And again, this gives her an incentive to actually start talking with you on another platform. So another thing that this does is when you actually mention her in your DMs. Yeah.
When do you get the number and when do you get the Instagram? So like if she has like, let's say she has like 100,000 followers on Instagram, do you still go for the Instagram?
Yeah, regardless. Because even if you have like 200 followers, and I'm going to talk about this, how to like portray like a celebrity-like image through Instagram, it doesn't matter because she's still going to be like, this guy's fucking cool as fuck. And you want to get the number first before you actually hop into the Instagram. So you get the number first, she's got her number, you're interacting, da da da, and then you take an Instagram and put her mention in there. Hopefully that answered your question. And this actually kills two birds with one stone. It's literally because I'm like meeting these girls, mentioning them, and again, when girls get on camera as well, what they'll do is like they'll be like 10 times more enthusiastic than they actually are. So they're like, da da da, and then because of that, other girls are seeing this and they're like, oh shit, like these girls are responding so well to him. Another thing is hot girls follow hot girls, especially in like, this might not apply to places like Vegas or where there's like a lot of tourists coming in, like even New York. And the reason why is because you have all these people around these different places. But in general, like in a city like Toronto where there isn't as much tourists and the places that you're going out is more locals, you're gonna have like a hot girl you're interacting with that you're gonna get her Instagram and you're gonna see she's followed by all the other hot girls you followed. So now, when you mention her in your story and the other hot girls are seeing that you have a mutual friend in your story, what is that gonna make her think? Let's get some guesses. That wasn't a hypothetical question.
Yeah, you're the same social circle.
Same social circle. And they're like, oh, this guy must be cool. He's not a psychopath. He's not going to murder me because he's in the same social circle. He's around my friends. And if he's around my friends who are also hot, that means he must be really fucking cool to hang around with. So, basically, another thing you can do, like, I don't usually do this, but this is like taking it that step further if you're like fucking savage as fuck, is you can actually like you can get her Instagram or even go on her Instagram and see that she's like followed by other people or hot girls that you're following. And right then and there, you can actually mention her with the other hot girl. So you can be like, hey, I just saw your friend, and it's in your story, so you're tagging 2 girls now. Yeah.
How do you not let the following happen? Where like one girl's like, wait, how did you meet River? And it's like at the mall, and it's like at the mall, and like suddenly all these things.
I mean, like that's possible of happening. Like that's kind of inevitable. But like the thing is like it doesn't matter, right? Because then now it's like it creates, like I've put it here, it creates healthy competition. Where it's like, oh, this cool guy that we fucking met, he was a fun time. He met you too. Fuck, like now I like it. It makes them actually want you even more. Or it could like be like, fuck this guy, da da da, and it doesn't matter. You have to come from an abundance mindset and be like, you know what, whatever, I'll meet more girls. Yeah.
More question. About mentioning the girl, what do you do? Just like take it out, make a story, write a little interaction. What do you do?
Yeah, like I usually try to go off the interaction. So like, let's say, for example, she's Swedish or she's Russian. I'll put it out. I'll be like, okay, teach something in Russian to these people. And then she'll say something and be like, Polska or whatever. And then I'll be like, all right, well, da da da. And then I'll actually mention her in that. So it actually like, you don't want to pull out your phone and be like, like that's not gonna fucking work, obviously. It has to be something that goes in with the interaction. So it creates healthy competition, there's pre-selection, and it actually re-engages other girls that you might have like fell off with in terms of texting. And then through your social media, you want to create like a celebrity-like image. And when she sees this like celebrity-like image, and there's an actual psychology to this, and I've literally like looked at like all the celebrities who are getting laid with really hot girls, and they all make 1 of 5 posts every time. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you some examples of Dan Bilzerian. He literally goes through 1 of the 5 posts and he does them like in order every single time. And if you want, you can actually go on his social media after and take a look at it. So again, this just gives her more and more incentive to go out with you. It's up a little higher. It's like there might have been a 50% chance of her meeting up with you, but now because she sees your social value, it's like 60%. And then she sees the DM, it's like 70%, and da da da, and it just keeps stacking.